election headquarters, Republicans have big plans now that they control Congress. Congressman Mike Conaway stopped by the station today for an exclusive sit-down. When the dust starts to settle, Conaway prepares to start his sixth term as U.S. Representative of District 11. He says now it's the responsibility of himself and his fellow Republicans taking office to follow through with campaign promises like repealing the Affordable Care Act. He hopes actions like those will help build trust with the American people, paving the way for a Republican to win the presidential election in 2016. We asked him if he sees a presidential run in his future. Conaway answered, it's a greater power that keeps him from the White House.
The pat answer is Suzanne, my wife, has a permanent veto on that. She's supportive of me doing the work in the House and serving in the House, but she is uninterested in the extreme in doing the presidential thing.
For interesting fact, Conaway says he ran against Representative Randy Nagebauer back in 2003 and lost. Then the next year, Conaway ran again for the newly drawn District 11, taking his current position. He says nowadays he and Nagebauer get along just fine. It's all smiles in Dallas as the city is declared Ebola-free. To celebrate, President George W. Bush visited Texas Health Presbyterian Hospital. This is the hospital that treated the first Ebola patient diagnosed in the U.S. and the same place where two nurses contracted the virus. W met and hugged one of those nurses, Amber Vinson. He even gave her a big kiss on her forehead. The two shared a laugh as the president thanked her and other healthcare workers for their dedication.
It's been a tough period for this hospital and the people who work here. Tough period for Dallas. But, fortunately, this is a team of people that really care, compassionate folks. And the idea of sharing lessons with others is, I think, great. And I had the privilege of hugging Amber. We got a little notoriety recently. Sweet woman. And thank you all for caring for her as well.
Bush is no stranger to this hospital. He had a heart procedure there last year. As he walked the hallways, he joked with the staff, saying, "The hospital feels like home." Staying with your health news tonight, a false positive on a breast cancer exam can be a frightening thing.
Yeah, but a new 3D test could reduce those false readings and allow doctors to catch the cancer early. Holly Furfer has the details in tonight's Health Beat.
Health Beat, brought to you by Midland Memorial Hospital.
About a year ago, Ivory Poozer had a routine mammogram. What followed a few weeks later was not so routine.
I got a letter, and the letter stated that I think something is not showing up on your tests as being normal.
A return visit and another mammogram proved there was no cause for concern. But Ivory, like thousands of women each year, had to handle a very frightening experience, a false positive screening. Now new technology could lower those false positives by 20 to 40%. The newest instrument utilizes 3D technology.
In traditional 2D imaging, we used to look at the breast from one side of the breast to the other. What digital tomosynthesis lets us do is actually open the book and look at pages of the breast, one page at a time, each being a millimeter of breast tissue, so that we can actually peer into the breast tissue in a much deeper fashion to separate normal from abnormal and get a more accurate diagnosis.
Because they can see so much more detail, doctors are able to find smaller abnormal cells very early on.
If we can find them at around a centimeter, which is 10 millimeters, I think we're doing a good job. Excellent opportunity for cure, excellent opportunity for a small cosmetic procedure, a lumpectomy, and not a mastectomy.
To see past Health Beat reports, just check out our website, PermianBasin360.com. Well, calling all runners, get your heart pumping tomorrow at the Desert Dash. The race is a 5 and 10K at Mission Fitness. It starts tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. Proceeds from the run going toward the Medical Center Health System Foundation. It's $35 for the 5K and $45 for the 10K. And runners of all ages are invited. There's a kids run and other activities for the little ones. You can pre-register online or on the phone or right before the race begins. Get there early. Starts at 7:30.
Speaking of runners, Jeff's making a mad runner's dash to the desk.
He's a
Busy
little out
night
of
for
breath.
you?
Just a little. I felt like Usain Bolt. By the way, I will not be at that race. I will still be sleeping. Just FYI. Sorry, I'm not sorry.
Yeah.
A lot of high school football tonight. And coming up next on your local Big 2 Sports.